Productions. He's here pushing us. Follow us on Facebook, on the Pool Hall on Facebook. He reminds me every day that we're on here to say this, and we will say that we are glad to say that we're the #1 ranked show on WDUN. It's good to be ranked #1. So to all the people that are listening, thank you for voting us #1 in Northeast Georgia, the #1 rated radio show. It took us only a month to be ranked #1. Is that good or bad? Just kidding. Come on. We have these guys here today, and we're going to talk about Hall County and get them. They've introduced themselves before. Well, we've told them here. We've one of the big things that I wanted to talk about today is our third floor. We've had a change in the third floor, and I think we're trying to make some needed changes. And so let me ask you, I'll start with you two on the far end.
Okay.
We'll start with Tyler. You go first.
Yeah, we've known the problems, obviously, on the third floor. It feels like anybody that's been in Hall County for any length of time, a couple years, 5 years plus, I was thinking about this the other day. It seems like when Lamar and Peggy, man, those names come up a lot. So anybody that had building inspections back then, permitting, the office did run really well up until probably COVID, I guess. I think COVID really started, people started retiring, people started taking leave there. And since COVID, really, I hate to say mess, but it has certainly gone downhill as far as the kind of throughput, output. Stuff has taken quite a bit of time to get through there. And there's a revolving door in not only personnel, but I think maybe what the answers needed to have been. So unfortunately, like you said, I mean, it's taking months to get things done that it used to take, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, somewhere in there. So we went from measuring things in weeks to measuring things in months. And unfortunately, the answers that we need have not happened. So we're continuing to look for a better solution. And a lot of it, I think, comes back to having people that are competent and knowledgeable in that process. We've had some people that have been really good, but unfortunately, we have not been able to retain them. And like I said, that's kind of where we're at now. We're still, again, right? We had our director leave yesterday, so now we're back to square one a little bit. So we're looking at rebuilding that process.
Okay. Mark.
Well, of course, in my industry, what I do for a living, I know a lot of builders and things like that. So I've had a lot of phone calls about the permitting things that Tyler's talking about, how long it takes, and with Peggy, you go in there and within 4 hours, you had everything. You're out the door. You're ready to go. And so, yeah, it's a problem, but and you got to think about, the builders, or the homeowner, the construction loan. Wasted time is wasted money. So these processes need to be sped up. And I'm going to borrow a line from Rick Jackson when I saw him down at Kurt's. People don't do what you expect; they do what you inspect. And I think we had to hold people accountable to do their job. I mean, one of the things that I see at the county or in any government facility is just everybody's just so lackadaisical. They're just whatever. I mean, we need people in there that are hold people accountable.
All right, what you got, David?
No, man, I could go on and on and on, but
we'll make it quick.
Well, you've been there too, but the main thing is, we're not here to influence. I'm not here to influence. I'm here to make sure the county follows a process and make sure that we provide the best services for the community and the citizens of this county and win for Hall County. And we have not been winning in our inspection department. We have been failing. We've had about 13 individuals leave, some good individuals. And why are you leaving Hall County? There's a reason you're not happy. So I think that, we're addressing the problem and we're in the right direction. And, people's been calling me too, Mark, a lot about, builders about permits. Some guy called and said it's taken him 17 weeks to get a permit. And then I had one call about a pool house permit. It's been about 2 months. It's just unacceptable, and we cannot allow that.
Right.
Being elected officials, if we're here, we're a service provider. That's all we're here for, is to service the citizens of this county. And as a commissioner, you have to do that regardless of your feelings towards any individual. You have to separate feelings from business and take care of business, and that's what we're doing.
All right, so we've seen that, and one of the things when I ran for commissioner, number one of the main reasons I ran is because my mom's a widow, and she was complaining about her taxes, and they don't have a voice, and in a Baptist church, her only voice is the deacon, because the deacons are supposed to visit the widows and make sure that their voice is heard through their voice. And one of the things that was continual in my world is the inspection office was terrible. And sad to say, through my 4 years, it still has the reputation of being one of the weakest spots in the county. And this has nothing to do with people in those roles in the offices that will go to work every day. This is a leadership problem. This is a leadership problem, and unfortunately in Hall County, you can't change processes or people unless you have 3 votes. And this is something I've been fighting for 4 years, is to make sure that we did install this. And for 4 years, it's like going as fast as you can and running into a concrete wall, only to realize that you can't do nothing. And accountability is one thing that should be looked at in any organization in the county, especially when you're using taxpayer funds. This is different than a business, because in a business, if you have those, you ain't gonna be in business long. You'll go bankrupt. In the county, you got tax money coming in all over. By God, we just send your taxes in, because we can't lose, because you're gonna make you pay your taxes. So this is why you should have greater levels of accountability in a government where taxpayer funds come in. So on that 3rd floor, I think we are headed in the right direction. Barry Shaw, shout out to old Barry Shaw. We love him. Mm-hmm. Barry's a good man. He's a good, honest man. He holds people accountable. He is filling in temporarily, and I'm going to say I hope he gets the job, because when he was in there, he got more done in the short time he was there than anybody that has been there since I've been there. And that's not throwing rocks, that's just stating facts. And if the facts make you mad, get them right. That's what I say. But he did a good job. So we're moving there. We're going to go to a break. It's time for a break. We're always having these breaks because we got to get these sponsors, these advertisers. We love these advertisers. We love that money. Love that money coming in. Come on back to the pool hall, and we're going to talk about data centers next.
When it comes to today, we have only one goal.
The plan is very simple. We want to tell the story.
Online at accessnorthga.com and on air at AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN, North Georgia's News Talk.
Hey there, it's Cody Lovin, owner of Crawl Space Medic. Is your crawl space giving you trouble? Maybe it's moisture, structural issues, or even foul odors? Don't worry, my team and I, we've seen it all. At Crawl Space Medic, we specialize in crawl space repairs, encapsulations, and basement waterproofing, ensuring your home's foundation stays solid and protected. We're all about delivering top-notch service you can trust with solutions that last. Give me a call at 706-410-2400 or visit crawlspacemedic.com for a free evaluation.
You already know Gainesville Mechanical for their award-winning HVAC service, but did you know they handle plumbing too? Because plumbing problems never happen at a good time, you need a trusted, experienced team there when they do. From small leaks to major repairs, Gainesville Mechanical is here for you with 24/7 no overtime rates through their customer assurance maintenance plan. Proud to be named Best of Hall for HVAC and plumbing, Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep North Georgia cool since 1989.
Some car dealers want to sell you a car. At Hardy Chevrolet, we'd rather help you find the vehicle that's right for you. This is Mike Cormier. We call it the Hardy Chevrolet difference. Since you're the one who will be in the driver's seat of that new Chevy, we think you should be in the driver's seat when it comes to making the selection. It's like Charles Hardy always said,
we love you and we need you.
together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
Hey folks, big news. The Echo one-day sale is heading to Howard Brothers next month. Wednesday, September 16th, visit your local Howard Brothers for fantastic deals on Echo power equipment. That means Echo chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Whether you're a pro on the job or a weekend warrior, Echo Tools will help you get that project done right. Mark your calendar, grab your crew, and head to one of the 7 Howard Brothers locations on September 17th for the Echo one-day sale. One day of big savings you don't want to miss.
Exchange Bank is now open in Brazelton. For 123 years, we've helped our neighbors reach their financial goals with personalized service. We're excited to bring that same community-focused banking to Brazelton. Whether you're opening a new account, growing your business, or planning for the future, our team is here to help. Stop by and see us today at 6700 Highway 53, Brazelton. Exchange Bank. Member FDIC.
Always here, always local.
From the Access North Georgia Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, a 2 p.m. meeting in Lula today discusses the eligibility for a city council candidate in an upcoming special election. Details at accessnorthga.com and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the talk or text line presented by M&R Rental, 770-535-2911 to be part of today's conversations with Gregg Poole in the Pool Hall.
Hey, welcome back to the Pool Hall. We got a call. We're going to go ahead and grab that call. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello. I am so glad to hear so many commissioners in one place. I heard last week, I think it was, y'all talking about White County and them passing a SPLOST increase in taxes to make the visitors pay some of the county funding, and it turns out it's going to end up paying all of it. I want I want Gainesville to get like White County. I want Hall County because dispersing it between a larger group, like in sales tax, is a whole lot better than that widow like you talked about, Greg, there from your mother. We're retired. We have rental income that supplements our Social Security. And on just one house, it was at $3,200 plus a little bit last year, and now I hear it's going up 14% more. And I have 3 houses that supplement our income, and it's getting up there to 20 and 30% because I don't charge these high rental property, I charge them a good rental income. And they're older people like I am, and they can't pay more. I can't pay more. So I'm ready to buy property in White County and move everything.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling. I get that. I hear that a lot, and it's a complicated answer, but it's not complicated. It's one of those things where everybody says it's complicated, but it's not complicated, which is going to lead us into data centers. And I have been talking to people about data centers for a while, and I've never said I'm for or against them. I actually believe that the biggest concern is not the water, it is the power consumption. I think that is a statewide issue, and I've heard the arguments being, well, let's just put them all in South Georgia in the middle of those pine thickets, and it won't bother nobody. Well, if you put them all in South Georgia in the middle of a pine thicket, number one, there's no infrastructure there. There's no power grid there. There's no water there. Sewer is not the issue, it's the water. So, and if you push them all down there and then the power consumption goes up, they go up statewide on the rate. They don't go up county by county. So it would be a benefit where they would be having all the data centers. So that is not reality. It's not. My question to you gentlemen is, if we said that if we had data centers and it could do away with all the property tax, all of it, no property tax for homestead exemptions. I'm talking about if it done away and it all went specifically to homestead exemptions and school taxes. What's your thoughts? Start right here with David.
Wow, you're just going to throw me right in.
You, the chairman, answer it.
I'm good with that.
What
you
is
know
it?
I'm good with that. I'm going to say this again. We're not here to influence. We're here to do what's good for the citizens and best for the citizens and win for the county. So I think, Greg, obviously, if you did data centers, if you want to go that route and say that if we build data centers and it's going to do away with property taxes, you can guarantee all the citizens it's going to do that, then that's a win. That's a 100% win.
Mark?
Go ahead.
But that's something that have to be discussed and just, let the citizens have some input on it too. But if that's the case, then in my mind, it's an absolute win.
I think the citizens have an input when they vote for us. So
Yes.
the citizens have an input when they vote their commissioner in, and he is the voice, whether for or against. So that is their voice through the commissioner. You are representing them.
Yes.
You cannot do what 225,000 people want. You cannot do everything everybody wants. So the commissioner is the voice of that district. So, Mark?
Here's what I see, and here's the problem that I see. Let me put it that way. So there's 225,000 people, so there's 230, whatever we have in Hall County. How many data centers would it take to eliminate property tax? Because if you get $15 million, off the data center, and you divide that by 230,000 people.
We can tell you.
All right.
We can tell you.
Yeah.
That's not like an equation that you can't figure out. That's something that we can tell you real quick.
But it would take several.
You don't know that.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't.
You don't know that.
So I can't say that I'm. I know during my campaign I was totally against them. I don't know enough about them really to. I'm like David. We need to have a win-win. I know the majority of the people don't like it, and I'm here representing. I'm the voice of South Hall, and so if South Hall don't want it, I got to go with my constituents. So.
Man, that's an interesting proposition because you're talking about the numbers, and it's and actually this also kind of works with the flossed L-host argument. Hall County, to my recollection, $110 million that we collect on property taxes in total. It's $55 million in homesteaded properties. So if you are looking at the numbers, then in theory you could say if you're talking about your $15 million, I mean you could do 3 data centers, and then that would cover all the homesteaded properties that we take taxes from. So a very interesting argument. I'm actually very similar to you. Right now, probably not, but I would be very interested when we finally get small modular reactors sorted out. There's very real attempts to get that done in Tennessee right now. I think actually you talked about that, the Oak Laboratory.
I was talking with the state rep this morning, and one of the things, and I asked him, and he's very in tune on these data centers. And what he's seen in other counties do, and these data centers are not a permanent fixture. They're going to be. 30 years ago, you would have never heard of a data center. 30 years from now, you will not hear of the data center like we have right now. Technology will increase unless the Lord Jesus Christ comes back. Shout out to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. So, anyways, I'm saying technology would increase. So you cannot think that this one asset will be there forever. So this is we have to tax them while they're there is what I look at. You have to get this funding while they're there because they're not guaranteed to be there in another year or two or another 10 years. And then when they're gone, the building will be empty. It won't be sucking power. It'll just be a warehouse just like any other warehouse.
Right.
So the thing is, I think you assess them at 100%. This is what my suggestion would be. You abate the county's 40% assessment, and you make them sign on to 100% assessment, and you tax them at 100%. And they have to agree to do that because that's not a state law. That would have to be a voluntary basis where you assess them at 100%. And in that condition, that money goes toward the homestead exemption property tax. And as soon as that burden is met, it goes straight toward the school tax and eliminates the school tax. Then that way, that money, I think we only have, I think it was less than 55, it was right up, it may have been 55 million on homestead property taxes in Hall County. So if you get that burden off the homesteads on that tax, and then you start laying it to that other, one data center could do away if it's a big enough project. It would eliminate that part of the county's tax and start laying into the school tax on one. So and this is a real thing, and the reason people are scared of it is because people are afraid to even talk about it, because they're afraid, well, they're going to hate me because they think I want to drain Lake Lanier. And honestly, the water is not the problem. Everybody says, well, it's going to kill the lake, it'll suck the lake dry. Not so. It's got a closed-loop system, and they're also redefining and redoing how they air cool these things. So this is a big deal. I think it takes 300,000 gallons to fill the loop up first, and then it's only like 30,000 gallons a day. And here's a quick nugget to you. That's a lot less water than a lot of industries in Hall County are pulling right now. So it's not the end of it. So
can I ask you a question?
No. Yes.
So I know Hall County is not the only county in the United States that's going through this process of determining whether they want to do them or not. So is there any studies, and I'm sure you could find this out and you may know, has anybody in the United States eliminated their property tax?
Yes. We're going to have to go to break. Come on back to the pool hall. We're going to wrap up these data centers. We got Elon Musk on the phone wanting to talk to us. Come on back.
Does your office technology slow your team down? Nothing is more frustrating than printers that jam, copiers that won't connect, and service providers that don't follow through. You and your team deserve technology that works. I'm Matt Nick, president of Duplicating Products, and for over 50 years, we've helped North Georgia offices eliminate bottlenecks, reduce downtime, and get reliable support for office technology. Our promise, we do what we say we will do. If you're tired of office equipment headaches, it's time for a change. Visit us today at duplicatingproducts.com.
Your new home should be a perfect fit for your family. A place where children take their first steps or the family gathers in the kitchen. A home designed for comfort and savings. It should be a Right Choice home from Jackson EMC. Right Choice homes are built for energy efficiency, sustainability, and comfort. Plus, the program is brought to you by Jackson EMC, a company you trust. Learn why a Right Choice home is right for you. Visit JacksonEMC.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
North Georgia's premier prep football magazine is back. Kickoff 2026 features 26 team previews, region predictions, and team schedules. Log on to accessnorthgeorgia.com to find out where you can pick up your free copy of Kickoff 2026, a premium publication from your home of Friday game night. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 9:30.
Consumer inflation cooled slightly in July, meeting expectations, the CPI report. For July, likely to ease rate hike worries.
Everything in line with estimates. So month over month, July CPI coming in up 0.1%, year over year, up 3.4%.
That's Fox Business Network's Cheryl Cassoni. We'll get the producer price index tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access North Georgia Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, I'm Steve Winslow. And Oakwood police have arrested a man after a woman claimed she was raped by him multiple times. WDUN's Caleb Hutchins reports.
28-year-old Feliciano Lux Batten was arrested on Monday after the victim reported the alleged crimes to Oakwood officers last week. The woman claimed Lux Batten sexually assaulted and raped her while she was in her bed and said he had done so several times over the past 3 3 years. Lux Batten was arrested Monday. He's being held in the Hall County Jail without bond.
Preliminary hearings taking place in Gwinnett County for a mother charged in the death of her 1-year-old son. The attorney for Deja Coleman is looking for prosecutors to drop second-degree murder charges against her if they cannot find aggravating factors in the case. Tom Ford is a criminal attorney recently expressing opinions to Atlanta News First on the matter.
There must be some reason other than the sleep deprivation.
29-year-old Coleman, who was a nurse, was arrested 2 weeks ago after accidentally leaving her 1-year-old son in a hot car while she was at work at Northside Hospital Gwinnett in Lawrenceville. And the White County Government Complex on Helen Highway experiencing an internet and phone outage this morning after being struck by lightning Tuesday night. As of today, the county crews are working to assess the damage and restore services, while the White County 911 Center remains fully operational and not affected. More news at accessnorthga.com. Now here's your Access North Georgia weather forecast.
Good Wednesday morning to you, North Georgia. A mix of clouds and sunshine. The chance of a shower or thunderstorm around. Otherwise, low 90s for highs. Partly cloudy skies tonight. We're not going to rule out a shower or storm. Low 70s early Thursday. From the WDUN Lawson Air Conditioning and Plumbing Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
In Arcade and Duluth, both 74 degrees. Gainesville with 73. From North Georgia's News Talk AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
We're talking with Mike Robertson of Oakwood Tire and More. And Mike, I understand you guys have moved. Where can we find you?
3440 Mabry Road, which is right off of Mountain View.
Still offering the same services?
We won't be doing alignments, but we'll be doing tires. Tires, brakes, batteries, tune-ups, those kind of things that normal maintenance repair.
Sounds good. Give us the address one more time. Make sure we don't miss out.
You can find us at 3440 Mabry Road at oakwoodtire.com or even the same phone number, 770-535-0943.
Heartburn. Quick, Alka-Seltzer, because nothing is worse than heartburn after a long day. When you're finally off the clock, dinner's done, feet kicked up, kids asleep, and boom, heartburn tries to steal the moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer, because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. The effervescent tablets start neutralizing acid in seconds, so you can sit back, relax, and unwind from your day. Next time heartburn hits,
quick, Alka-Seltzer.
Use as directed.
It's Conversations with Gregg Poole in the Pool Hall. Presented by Gainesville Mechanical on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN, where the conversation continues.
Hey, welcome back to the Pool Hall, #1 rated radio show in Northeast Georgia. It's awesome. We got a call on the phone from Mr. Emery Donahue. Go ahead, Emery. Got 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. Hope you're good. Mo, Curly, and Larry in there today. That's good. I wanted to kind of throw out, I think the biggest problem, Greg, is most people aren't educated on actually what a data center does. And with that, there's different kinds. You have radiator type for water movements. You have different kinds. But you need to negotiate when they come to make sure that you negotiate what they're going to actually do and what they're going to take responsibility for the local municipalities. That means Jackson EMC, as we talked off the air, Georgia Power, these companies have to come in and put a bond up, and we've talked about that, $4 billion to $6 billion, depending on how big the municipality is and the county is. By doing that way you have a little cushion there. If anything goes not as planned, the consumer and the constituent there protection.
Thank you, Emery.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have talked with Emery about that bond before, and one of the things, the biggest concern I would have as a Hall County Commissioner would be the power consumption. And because when you look in, I think it's Lowndes, Virginia, they're the home of the most data centers in the nation. Their power bill has, I think I read an article where they had risen, don't hold me to this, maybe around 65%. But also in that county, what the people don't want to tell you, look how much power they have no property taxes. So if you was to say, Greg, your power bill is going to go up 50%, but you're never going to pay property tax, I'd say, okay. But what you have to realize is this a permanent, and people say it's a permanent fix. No, I don't believe it is what you would call a permanent fix at all. It's something the cyclical. You're going to have to ride the cycle and tax it while it's here. That's what I would say. And so when we think of that, we think of those data centers. It's a real question. I think it's going to be a more prominent question that's going to have to be dealt with in the upcoming future. Any last thoughts on the data centers?
Yeah, let me you want to comment? Let me say, like we said, if you can eliminate property tax, everybody's worried about the property tax. That's a win. But at what cost? I mean, like Greg said, we have to really dive deep into these other avenues of what that brings with it, and really drill down, like we're talking about, and make sure these guys, we have a concrete, very understanding of what they're going to bring for Hall County. You say property tax, but at what cost is that going to? I mean, we just have a lot to deal with there. Obviously, property tax is when you get in people's pockets, they get very excited, or get in their backyard. That's the only two times people really get excited. So obviously, we jump out and we get real excited about property tax. But what is that going to bring? I have a lot of questions. I mean, if you do away with property tax now, like Greg said, if it gets the size of a cell phone, so when they quit doing that and we can't tax them, are we going back to property tax? I mean, there's just a lot of stuff there that's really you got to think about. But obviously, we are here to do away with property tax. And everybody complains about the water. Well, poultry consumes more water than that. In Hall County, we have a lot of poultry here, and they have to wash those chickens. It takes a lot of water. And I read something last week when we had the rain. If the lake comes up 1 inch, it actually puts billions, not millions, billions of water back in Lake Lanier. Billions for 1 inch of surface area. It's about 48,000 square feet of water. 48,000 acres, I'm sorry. It's humongous. So when you really drill down into that, is water really an issue? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the poultry drains more water than that, but there's a lot more issues than that. And obviously our constituents, it's just something we need to hash out when the time comes. But I am for, eliminate property tax, but I'm also for, not being detriment to the citizens for other things.
Yeah, I was going to say there's two parts to there. The first part, like you talked about the water, which is, and I think about the O'Kelly one because that's the only one that we've ever really had in Hall County. When they first came with 500,000 gallons per day, that was a lot of ask for water. And then, to your point there, if you look at 100 acres, if what you can put there would take more water than the data center, then it's hard to rip on the data center for water, because if you cover the 100 acres with apartments or townhomes, you're going to look at a lot of water consumption anyways, right? So if the argument is purely on water, then what you could put there is actually probably worse. So that's why you want to make sure, and that dovetails in with the part that I think is the most important, and we were talking about it here on the break. The people that have generally done the deals for Hall County, and I say this as a taxpayer and not on the commission board yet, the people that have done the deals, in the conditions or whatever, they generally have been pretty bad. And I know, Greg, you've talked about this before. Where
don't you blame that on me?
No, I'm not blaming it on you. What I'm saying is you had a discussion one time where you're talking about with the city of Gainesville, and you felt like the Hall County people that were negotiating on behalf of Hall County taxpayers were not near as competent as the people negotiating on behalf of the Gainesville taxpayers. And it feels like that with some of the things that the commission has passed, not you. But things that we have passed in the past, that would be my concern, are the people that are making the deals on behalf of the county, are they actually going up there and are they making sure that we're getting a good deal, that we're getting everything that we asked for? The other thing too, and you guys have talked about, how do you follow up on conditions on the back end? That's another really kind of nervous part for me. You have basically the marshal's office and you have people complaining, and that's how you stay on top of conditions. So if you pass conditions that are very restrictive, but then all of a sudden somebody runs a water line somewhere and they're taking water, like, okay, well, where was the accountability for what we passed in the conditions over there?
One of the biggest things is in the conditions when you conditionalize a project like this. And what would help us is if the state legislators would get up off that backside and pass state law that would help us do this. And why they haven't done that, you need to go down to Atlanta and ask them why they have not done this. Are they afraid? Are they being... And I'm not saying that's local. I'm talking this is a statewide issue where we should be looking at this statewide as a state issue where the state is helping drive this. That's why I keep calling the state. And we have our local people. I know Victor Anderson has tried to is trying to get this pushed through on a statewide issue. So one of the things we should be doing is looking to the state for some of the guidance, which is why I talked to him a lot about this, so that our current, what we're trying to do is what he would envision what state law would look like, so that when a state law passes, it lines up with state law and they're running parallel with each other and you're not having to crisscross, make it match and all that. We got a couple calls on there. Let's go ahead and get them. We have, what's that first one there? What's the name?
It's we've got Chris on the.
Go ahead,
one.
Chris. Chris, go ahead.
Hey guys, Chris Hogue. How you guys doing this morning?
Got 20 seconds. What's your question there, brother-in-law?
20 seconds. Just good to hear the conversation about this. Y'all are doing a great job. Enjoy hearing more about the facts and the figures, especially around the water usage. I think that's a big, concern, but a lot of false facts going around there. I'm just curious how you guys in this broader conversation, we talk about smart growth a lot, and data centers kind of falls under this category. How would you all define smart growth in the face of the backlash of what seems to be most people don't want any growth at all in the county?
Thank you.
What I would call smart growth is something that does not impact the taxpayers more than the taxes it's bringing in. And then unfortunately for Hall County, most high density sucks, in my opinion, and I don't like it, and it is a tax burden to us. So I win again. All right, and Chris Hogue is a data center developer. Thank him for calling, and I think he is. I may have got that wrong. We're the #1 rated show for a reason, because we make stuff up. Elon Musk hung up a while ago, so we don't know where he went. Alan, go ahead, Alan.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, I was going to throw this in. I'm kind of undecided on the data centers necessarily, but I'd probably just go with whatever Gregg Poole says because I believe the man.
Dang right. You a smart dude. Rock on, dude.
Man, but I would just kind of draw a contrast or add something else into the conversation. That is, anytime you're doing business, like when in a local area, right, you're doing business with some New York-owned entity or some California-owned entity, it just seems that it doesn't have staying power, as opposed to a locally owned business, right? Like if a data center could be locally owned or owned by a local group, people you could call on the phone, say, hey, come look at this, and that guy is like part owner or the owner, that would make people a little bit more comfortable. But I think when we're making deals, the industries that are located distant away, it's just it seems like on the surface, not a good idea to do a whole lot of business and become dependent on way distant people. Does that make any sense?
Sure does.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your call, Alan. Unfortunately, I appreciate his tremendous confidence in me. He don't know me real well, evidently. I lied about Elon Musk earlier, I will admit. He did not call in. It was his secretary. But anyways.
Hey, the previous developer did live in the Atlanta area. So if you were in the question of are we going to have local people,
yes.
A previous caller was. So
right.
Yeah.
And that would be the only thing the local owner could own is the building, because we don't have any. They're all in Silicon Valley, or they're somewhere where we're not. They're in Austin, Texas, with Elon Musk moving all his stuff there. So we don't have that horsepower here in Hall County. We have another caller, Jeffrey Dale.
Jeff Dale.
Hey, I came straight into y'all, and I didn't even get call screened. That's a dangerous thing when I call in.
If I knew that was you, we wouldn't have took your call. Sir, you've got the wrong number.
So quickly on data centers, and I've been involved in a couple of projects through the years, been lucky, but what we've got to do, everybody talks about power usage and water usage. Everything is about first cost in the building industry. Y'all know that. A lot of y'all are in the building industry. But so there's only 4 ways to cool a data center. And I'll say I've dumbed this down because I'm a North Hall graduate and I can do that.
Easy.
DX, direct expansion, which is, we did one and we put 50-ton rooftops on there. and that's what cooled this, because all it is a bunch of servers, so you're cooling it year round. 12 months a year, you're cooling that building. Air-cooled chillers, that's what they call a closed loop, because you got a chiller that sits there and it just loops water, and it, cold water loop through the building. And then what they call an open loop, that's a chiller that has a cooling tower, and that's where the cooling tower is your evaporative cooler, and it is where the evaporation of water usage, and then geothermal, and nobody's going to do geothermal.
No, you'd have to have 1 million acres of geothermal.
It's about first cost, so just let me say 50-ton units cost, about $18 million. That's about what it does to put on that building.
All right.
But air-cooled chillers are going to cost you about $32 million.
We're going to break.
Water-cooled chillers, all right. Water-cooled chiller is going to cost you $50 million. So what would you do if you were building a data center? And
okay,
I guess I'm getting to the most usage is going to be air-cooled chillers.
We got to go to break, Jeff. We'll answer your question when we come back from break. Come on back to the pool hall. We're talking about data centers and the #1 ranked show in Northeast Georgia. Come on back.
On Wednesday's edition of The Drive at 5, we'll hear about a new elementary school building that has opened up this year in Union County. Join us at 5 o'clock here on North Georgia's News Talk AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
It doesn't matter if you're a homeowner or running a business. Waste happens. Your go-to to make it go away? Waste Eliminator. They offer collection, disposal, recycling, and environmental services for business and home cleanout. Visit wasteeliminator.com. Click Order Dumpster, and before you know it, your dumpster is reporting for duty. Yep, it's that easy. Environmentally responsible and committed to customer service. It's Waste Eliminator. See them today at wasteeliminator.com.
Are you in the market for a new home? Of course, you want one that is worthy of your hard-earned dollars. Make it a Right Choice home from Jackson EMC. Every Right Choice home is guaranteed to be energy efficient and comfortable. And each one receives Jackson EMC's lowest energy rate. Right Choice homes, energy efficient, guaranteed. To learn more about the Right Choice Home program, watch our videos at jacksonemc.com/rightchoice.
You already know Gainesville Mechanical for their award-winning HVAC service, but did you know they handle plumbing too? Because plumbing problems never happen at a good time, you need a trusted, experienced team there when they do. From small leaks to major repairs, Gainesville Mechanical is here for you with 24/7 no overtime rates through their Customer Assurance Maintenance Plan. Proud to be named Best of Hall for HVAC and plumbing, Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep North Georgia cool since 1989.
Estate planning isn't stressful when you have someone holding your hand throughout the process. Hi, I'm Haley Brock, attorney and owner of Kimbrough Law. We know what it's like to sit down with a lawyer who gives you a list of 50 things to do. It's hard to remember everything you hear in a meeting. That's why we give you a written list of exactly what you need to do when you leave our office. Yes, there's a little work involved, but we make things as easy as possible for you. We walk you through the process of completing tasks like funding trusts, changing beneficiary designations, and moving accounts. If you have questions, call us and we will guide you. Are you ready to create or update your estate plan while feeling supported every step of the way? Kimbrough Law can help. Call 706-850-6910 to schedule a confidential consultation or visit kimbroughslaw.net. That's 706-850-6910 or kimbroughslaw.net.
Always here, always local.
From the Access North Georgia Hardy Chevrolet newsroom, authorities are searching for an arsonist following a single-family house fire in Lawrenceville last week. Details at accessnorthga.com and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
Use the talk or text line presented by M&R Rental, 770-535-2911 to be part of today's conversations with Gregg Poole in the Pool Hall.
I like to hear them old balls busting. Welcome back to the Pool Hall, #1 rated show in Northeast Georgia. We're talking about people migrating to us, coming to us because they love to hear our content. They love our jokes. They love our dry sense of humor, and we're just good looking. I can't help it. I mean, dang.
There's a lot of great hair up here.
My head's as big as a bucket. You would believe most people can't wear this headset no more because my head's so big, stretches it out. I heard Bill Main, he was talking before we left about the woman barbed wired her fence. Currently, there's people barbed wiring this radio station so that we can't get out because they don't want us to leave. They don't like us. So barbed wire is being used on us. We've been accused of using PED drugs because we're so strong. We're ripping it apart. And we're talking about data centers, one of the most controversial issues that you will see. One of the things that scares me most about data centers is that I think currently in the GDP in the United States, I think that we're being propped up by data center construction. And if you extract that out of the GDP, I think we're taking on water. And I realize, too, that if we weren't building data centers, we would be investing money elsewhere. So that is a real thing, too. But one of the things is this, what's the curve look like? Because it's not going to just keep climbing. It's just not. So when we think about that, and what Jeff Dell was talking about was the cooling, one of the things about these data centers, they're constantly going to be bringing in new equipment, which means the tax is going to stay. It's never going to go down. They're going to be bringing in new servers. They're going to be bringing in new cooling equipment. Technology is going to change. So the good thing about this is it's always going to be a climbing tax. Yes. It's always going to be. All right, we got another caller on here. Who we got?
Our first caller that we got right now is Alan calling in. Alan from Claremont.
Come on, Alan. What's your question?
Hey, Greg, I got a comment. I mean, we talk about the servers and all that, the data centers, as far as bringing in revenue, and it kind of sounds like that idea. It makes more sense to me than building apartments and revenue. You're talking about getting off the people moving in here. I mean, because you got more.
Right.
You got other stuff you're gonna have to spend on, like roads and so forth. But my big concern right now is, I'm 65, and I went down to the county building yesterday. August 20th is cutoff date on homestead and school tax reduction. Well, I don't qualify for anything. I mean, it has $99,000 is your income. That if you make above that, you can't apply for any of that. And I'm telling you that two working income household. $99,000, isn't a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, at one time,
right.
That sounds like a lot of money, but
right.
I could use a break. And I'm 65, and I'm still don't qualify for nothing.
Thank you for calling. And one of the main reasons I think a lot about these data centers, I'm not even thinking about this helping the landowners, that's not to be against the landowners or developers. I'm thinking about people that needs the help with their property taxes, that can't afford, that's struggling paying their bills, because there's a lot of people that are asking questions and they're not, and there's always going to be that percentage of people that just complain because they want to hear their self-talk. Trust me, they're in my family, they're in y'all's family, they're in all our families. But there's a lot of people that are really struggling to pay their bills, and we have to figure out the best conduit or avenue that would help offset that. And then we as commissioners or future commissioners, we have to make sure the Hall County government doesn't say we're going to do it and then just take that money and build roads because they're developer buddies that ask them to go to their drinking parties. Take that and shove it in the pipe. And go to all them parties and say, build a road and extend the sewer out for us. We don't want to extend sewer. You're hearing me say that. I don't want to extend the sewer. I don't want no more roads. I'm actually one of these people that don't think we should do a lot with our taxes. And I am pro-development. If it's a good industry, we should help them. That sewer is for industrial purposes, is what it should be used for. Currently, we're 90% flow rates on residential and 10% on commercial and industrial. That should be flip-flopped. We should be 90% the other way because those people are paying taxes and making a way so that we can pay for the roads and all.
Right.
Another big issue, these are data centers. and we've talked about this at nausea, and we're going to take shots from it. I think we have outside people paying people to come in here and lobby us not to build them. I believe that. So when you're going to be getting a lot of people saying they're against it, the first thing I would ask is, where are you from? On the detention center, I was against the detention center they wanted to put in Oakwood. I've been vocal about that. But everybody that would call or email me, I'd say, where are you from? And most of them were out from not in the state of Georgia. They were definitely dang sure wasn't a bunch of them from Oakwood, and I'm against it. But what I'm saying is we're getting a lot of outside agitators in here. So what do you think on that? Somebody jump in. Mark, you look like you want to answer.
Yeah, I agree. You need to find out where they're from. Absolutely. But me, like I said, I'm not for them. I'm not against them. I'm going to listen to what my constituents say. If they don't want it, I mean, because I'm not here for my personal benefit. I'm here to take care of the county, and I represent South Hall. So there again, if
we got to get out of here.
Yep.
Hey, we had a good show. We're going to get everybody. We're going to try and get this panel back one meeting next month. We're going to talk about the courthouse. We got a courthouse meeting tonight, Wednesday tonight, 6 o'clock at the county building. Come on out.
Come on out.
Thanks. Come to the pool hall. Thank these men. Follow us on Facebook. Thank you.
The views expressed on Conversations are those of the hosts and callers and don't necessarily reflect those of Jacobs Media or its advertisers. Conversations is a presentation of North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9.